What the heck is going on with the TJ, and whatever happened to the low buck diesel truck? I get questions every single video about both of these projects, and now's a perfect time to talk about what is going on with these projects. It's Christmas tomorrow. I'm leaving town for just a little bit, just a few days, to go see my dad. Many of you know my dad had a stroke earlier this month, and he's undergoing rehabilitation. So we're gonna go to where they're doing his rehab, and we're gonna hang out with him, and I'm not gonna think about YouTube, I'm not gonna think about content for a few days, and then I'll get back and I'll continue working on Samurai here. As you can see, I've been making progress all week. So this just feels like the perfect time to make a little video. I might even delete it after the holidays are over, but this is just a little holiday special, I guess, where we can finally talk about what is going on with these two projects and why I haven't touched them in a while.
My TJ might be a little smoky, but this TDI swap Jeep was so capable and so satisfying to drive, and I just fit in it perfect. I miss this more than anything I've ever owned, but we do have a future for this. We do have a plan for this, and now that it has a blown motor that many of you have seen, it changed a lot of the plans that I want to do to this for the next iteration of the build. We are going to build this better than anything that I have ever put together, and it's literally going to start from a home-built frame all the way up.
My Jeep TJ is my favorite vehicle I've ever owned. I learned so much about off-road. I've been to so many cool places, and I've done so many buggy trails with this full-bodied Jeep. I mean, this still has like the factory TJ frame. You know, this is still a TJ, very much so, but it's about to not be. So when I got the Samurai, it was very clear that this was going to make this platform obsolete. This is way lighter. The body's even smaller than the TJ, making it much more nimble in the tight trails we have up here. And once you throw it on portals and everything, I mean, I could never make the TJ be what this is, a tube buggy with an aluminum body. I mean, this is gonna be amazing. We're still gonna do doors, we're gonna do windshield, we're gonna do a top, all that other stuff, because I wanna be able to use it in the winter here in the Pacific Northwest. But it makes it to where, what am I gonna do with the TJ now? I have always wanted a Jeep Wrangler truck, and so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pull the body off this thing, we're gonna sell the axles, we're gonna sell the frame, everything. We are going to chop this down to a truck cab. I need to find a hard top and chop that down. I wanna make it an extended cab so we have some room behind the two front seats, and then we're gonna build our own truck bed with a rooftop tent on it. Next year, my goal is to get enough of these projects complete that I can sell my Toyota Tacoma to somebody who's gonna appreciate it a little bit more than I do. I appreciate what it's good at. It's just, I'm just not a Toyota guy. Even though I own a few Toyotas, I'm not a Toyota guy. So I just think that it's going to be a great truck for somebody else. I would way rather build something old like this without all the electrical gizmos and turn this into the same capability. We're going to do a 120-inch wheelbase. I want to be able to camp out of it. I want to be able to drive it cross country. I want to be able to wheel it hard. It's going to be on 42s. I want to fab our own housings from scratch. So the rear axle is a Ford 9-inch that I built many years ago from scratch. And I want to do the same thing in the front. So we'll do a 609 in the front with portal boxes. I want it to be on 42s. I want this thing to be insane. We're also going to be mixing our high horsepower TDI engine in with the TJ. So I'm still looking for the right injectors, but I basically have everything else to make this a really high horsepower engine. It's going to be nasty. I mean, nitrous, the whole bit. It's going to go into our Tremec 4050 transmission, and then it's going to go into our Atlas 4-speed T-case. And then once you throw that through some Fab 9s and some portal boxes, this is going to be a recipe for just like insane capability. It'll be good at absolutely everything. So that's what's going on with the TJ, and I don't know when we're going to start it, but it's definitely going to happen next year, probably after the Samurai and around the time as this other cheap, there's a challenge I'm doing we'll get to here in a minute. I'm pretty heartbroken about this truck for a couple of reasons. I wanted to do it on a budget, which we did. The whole point was to do it under 5K, which we are definitely under 5K. Everything is married and nothing wants to work well together. I think that our adapter plate was cut wrong, and that's making us chew through starters like nobody's business. So I'm literally breaking starters in half. I've already burned through 4 starters just to get it to idle. And then when it idles, it only runs for about 30 seconds and then it shuts off. something that I could definitely troubleshoot if I had a functioning starter without having to just change a starter. Like, I keep having to change these starters out. So I haven't touched it in like a year and a half for that reason. Another reason I'm heartbroken on this is that I was building this at a time that I didn't have my Land Rover, I didn't have my wife's Gladiator, we didn't have the Tacoma. These are all rad rigs, and they're super capable, and they're all way better hunting and fishing trucks than this could ever be. I mean, my wife's Gladiator is incredible. On 39s, it does everything great, including drive there comfortably, drive home comfortably. I mean, it's an amazing truck. When I have access to that, it's kind of hard to think that I could just build an old truck on 31s with like really worn out parts and have the same enjoyable experience. So the need for this truck is no longer there because it's been filled by other better trucks. But we're still going to build this on the channel. I just don't have, I'm not 100% committed on any one idea. So here's two ideas I'll throw at you right now, and you can let me know what you think. One, there are a lot of channels building tow trucks right now, a lot of off-road channels. I would love to turn this into an off-road tow truck. I've thought about this for years, how neat it would be to be able to go up in the winter, because there's so many people up here in the Pacific Northwest that bite off more than they could chew. They go up to save a friend and they like slide off, they slide down a hill. It would be cool to build a dually diesel manual truck with like an onboard welder, onboard air, front and rear winches, and use it to go, like every once in a while I would make make a video where I just go save people for a weekend and just go up in the mountains and just drive from stuck person to stuck person, pull them out, save them, whatever the situation may be. Don't worry, Matt's off recovery. I'm not coming for you, buddy. But what I'm saying is that it would be fun to make that kind of content on occasion. So there's that. Or what do you think about a trophy truck? I'm talking pull the drivetrain out, do super long trailing arms in the rear, make this to where you could really jump it. Maybe some IFS, like really solid four-wheel drive IFS up front with like 37s or something like that. Turbo LS, 4L80E, just really build it out for speed. I think that would also be really fun because there's a lot that I would like to learn on how to build a truck for speed. That project would be perfect, a perfect educator to teach me all those little things and be an excuse to befriend a bunch of different racers and stuff like that. So what do you think? Would you rather see the off-road tow truck and make some Pacific Northwest tow content? Or should we turn this into some sort of like a Jeep Speed kind of thing? Something that we can go out in the desert on occasion and bomb through it super fast. Both of those are needs that I don't currently have a vehicle for, and that's why I'm thinking both of those would be great for this. Now, as far as the tow truck goes, I just want to be super clear. I'm thinking like pull the body off and the bed off, drop it on like a 1-ton Dodge with a 5-speed manual dually and go like dually 40s. I mean, like really build it out to be a heavy duty truck. Maybe even build a tall frame or something like that to make it to where it's super rigid and can handle a lot of weight. So those are the ideas. Let me know what you think. Now, before we go, we have one more project that we are doing next year that I have not announced yet. You've seen Holly, Mischief Maker, announce that her and Broody are going to be doing, like, they bought a truck. We also bought a vehicle to do a, like, vehicle build-off. Bleepin' Jeep's going to be involved. It's going to be pretty rad. I'm not going to disclose what any vehicles anyone bought for this or any of that other stuff, but we are going to announce this thing officially like right before Easter Jeep Safari. We're going to bring our vehicles there so you can, once we get all the dates and all that, I'll keep you updated. You can come and meet us at Easter Jeep Safari. You can see the vehicles we're going to build when they're in stock form, and then I'm going to build that vehicle out on the channel. We all have like a certain amount of money that we can spend on these vehicles and what we can spend on building them, and then we're going to meet up somewhere in the country and we're going to have a blast making super fun content. So the plan right now as it stands, I'm going to push the finish date of the Samurai to EJS instead of King of the Hammers, just to make sure I can do everything the right way. Then, so I'm going to tow this down to EJS with our budget vehicle build. We're going to announce the budget vehicle build, come back, and then we're going to be building that vehicle alongside of the TJ, and that's what basically all of 2023 looks like. Once I get all of these other projects dialed in and buttoned up, we're going to finally take a second look at this J10, and we're going to finally make a concrete decision on how we should transform this project into something super cool. We're not selling it. It's just too cool looking. So we're gonna do something rad with it. I just need your help. So let me know what you think. It'll probably be the beginning of 2024, I imagine, and we will finally get all these projects buttoned up. And then who knows, maybe by that time I'll start my own shop and I'll make content building your vehicles. We'll see what happens. I hope you have a great holiday, whether it's Christmas or anything else. And I'll see you next week with a bunch more content on turning this Samurai into a legit rock crawler.